Oh, YouTube subscribers, don't you dare be sour. Clap
Clap!
for your favorite wrestling fan podcast and feel the power.
Not bad. Not bad. It's pretty good.
Welcome everybody to episode 19 of the Pro Wrestling Perspectives podcast. Enjoy having you along this ride with us tonight. We're joined by two Whitner boys. One will probably be missing. Chase, how are you doing, sir?
I'm doing awesome, John. Awesome. Had a little couple week hiatus we took there to kind of recharge the batteries and do some family stuff for the summer. But we can catch back up and see what's going on.
Chance, how are you tonight, sir?
I'm doing great. Doing great. Glad to be back. I didn't watch anything this week, but I'm just
That's
here
no
for
different.
camaraderie.
That's no different from any other week, is it?
Not really.
Okay, let's start off with our best thing this week. Chance, I'm gonna let you go first since you will add zero to the rest of the show. But I'm figuring you could probably come up with one best thing this week. Go ahead, sir. What is your best thing?
Best thing this week was LeBron moving to the Lakers, getting the heck out of Cleveland.
Yeah, babe.
I'm excited to watch. I mean, they're still going to get destroyed by
Yeah.
the Warriors, thanks to DeMarcus Cousins' stupid butt going over there for $5 million. But it'll at least be fun to see something different this year. Something
Yep.
mix it up a little
So
bit.
LeBron losing in a different color uniform.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, Chase, your best thing this week.
My best thing this week is the 4th of July, obviously. You always got to be thankful for that.
Mhm.
And we went and watched Jurassic World. Sunday,
Yeah,
was
baby.
it, James?
Yep, Sunday.
It wasn't as good as I was hoping it would be, but it was still pretty good. It was like they
Solid.
rushed it.
It was solid, but
What were you
like you
thinking
kind of knew
about?
what
Like,
was going to happen before it happened.
yeah,
Yeah.
what were you thinking about a third movie about Jurassic Park? What else could they do?
Well, this is actually like
Spoiler alert.
fifth one.
Yes,
But
anyway.
The third.
It was-
It would be
it was
the
good.
third in the Jurassic World series.
Yeah. It was good until they got to
Spoiler
that
alert.
whenever they actually
Spoiler
brought the
alert.
dinosaurs here
Yeah,
to America. That's where it kind of went downhill for me.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I seriously question your ability to evaluate movies since you like the new Jumanji and you like most rock movies. You're
Dude, surprisingly, well, I actually, I'm watching one right now that I've never seen. Is The Race to Witch Mountain.
Never seen
I'm
that.
watching that at work, and
Looked
it's
terrible.
it's
Okay.
borderline. It's borderline terrible.
okay.
Yeah, it's more for kids.
Yeah, that's how all his movies are. My best thing of the week ties into July 4th is grilling. Got to grill this weekend and I loved it. Had some good
Did
food.
you almost blow your hand off?
No, I did not. But I smoked gas the whole time, which was real scary. Everything went fine though. So
Okay.
house is still here and I have both hands. All right.
Good deal.
So we're gonna do like a drive-through version of Money in the Bank. Just kind of hit some of the highlights. We're several weeks away, so we're only looking at things that have had have a big impact on what's upcoming. And then one thing I want to point out, if you guys have some other things you remember from the pay-per-view, because I know you watched that, Chance, is Braun winning the Money in the Bank briefcase. In my opinion, it doesn't really fit his character to have this, and he
Nope.
looks very awkward when he's carrying it.
Yep.
The usually you give it to somebody that's on the rise or is a crafty heel. I know they wanted to go a different route, and I like that. And I found it too coincidental though that he won the Money in the Bank briefcase and Alexa won the Money in the Bank briefcase, and both of them were like a couple during the mixed match challenge. What say you, Chase? Did WWE make a good decision having Braun win the Money in the Bank briefcase?
I don't think so. I don't think he needs it. He's not a person that needed it. I mean, most of the time, like you said, it's somebody that either is needing it to get that healed, to just to be more aggravation to everybody. But like the Miz is good with it. Even Baron Corbin, even though he lost it, was kind of okay with it. People like that are the people who need the Money in the Bank. Even Seth Rollins, as much as I didn't think he needed it at the time, but it's what he was. He was part of the establishment, so that's why he got it. And same thing with Carmella. She won it kind of crappy with Ellsworth, so that's the kind of person that needs the Money in the Bank, not Braun Strowman, and not Alexa Bliss.
I agree with you. Chance, your thoughts?
So I kind of see it both ways. Definitely see y'all side of it. But I also like that Braun Strowman won it. I couldn't care less who won the women's one, really. Just because I'm kind of over the women's division right now. But anyways, I like Braun getting it because hopefully they will use it to introduce Braun versus Brock. Is what I'm hoping. If they use it for that purpose, then I'm all for it. If they don't use it for that, I think it's what you guys said. I think it's a blown opportunity to do something else with it. As far as Alexa Bliss one goes, doesn't she already? I thought she already had the belt.
She did. She lost it to Nia Jax.
And she got it back at MITB.
Oh, she got it back there.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
She cashed it in immediately.
That's right. She came and cashed in on Rousey and stuff.
It was.
Yeah.
It was Rousey and Nia Jax the same night she got it.
Yeah. I forgot about that. I was fine with that just because at least Nia Jax doesn't have it anymore.
True.
Yeah. Anything stand out to you guys about the pay-per-view as it relates to this time that we're leading up to?
You're talking about the Money in the Bank pay-per-view?
Yeah.
So what's our next pay-per-view?
Extreme Rules in 2 weeks. Not this Sunday, but next.
Yeah.
Okay.
My thing on the Money in the Bank, I thought it was actually a pretty decent event. I mean, I hate how long it is.
Yeah.
For all of us when we're trying to get together and watch it, but I thought it was actually a pretty decent show altogether.
Yeah, I didn't get to watch any of it. I was up in the mountains and I hadn't.
I forgot about that.
Network and watched it any.
What'd you think, John?
It's July 15th, 2000. Whoa. July 15th, 2018. That's when the Extreme Rules pay-per-view is. Like you said, a little long, and when it gets to a certain point, you're just like, even if a match is good, it's not having the same impact on you because they're trying to get as many people on this show as possible. And it feels like they're cramming things, like the Roman and Jinder thing was not not good for either one, and it's been beaten to death about Roman Reigns, and I think Jinder was hitting his peak right then. He's kind of drifted off a little bit the last couple of weeks, but they've really dropped the ball with Roman. And
what did Jinder do at Money in the Bank?
He fought Roman Reigns,
and it was the fans were doing everything but care for this match.
Oh, they were even cheering that, like, were they even like doing some cheers like this sucks or boring or something like that while they were wrestling? It was kind of,
really,
it wasn't good.
Mm-hmm.
Who won the match?
Roman.
Yeah, obviously.
Of course.
Yep.
Of course
so let's move on to Raw SmackDown Live recap. I'm going to tell you what I know about it, Chance, and you can make your observations on it. Chase has watched all this, so at certain points, if you want to bring something up, Chase, you can. I got a note here. It says Braun doesn't take any more crap. This past week, Chance, while Kevin Owens was trying to hide from Braun for like the second or third week in a row, he hid inside a porta potty. So what did Braun do? He taped the porta potty up where he couldn't get out. brought it back into the building because it was outside, and threw it off the stage. Am I correct on all that, Chase?
That is correct.
And when Kevin Owens emerged from it, he had that blue stuff that they put in the bottom of urinals all over him, that little chemical. And
that was the show. Ended after that.
Yeah.
The week prior to that, he flipped his car over in the parking lot. And so that's why he was kind of running from him.
Mm-hmm.
Why is he chasing?
Well, they kind of had a couple of matches where they were. Well, actually, Kevin Owens tried to befriend him. Or Braun tried to befriend Kevin Owens, and it just kind of went back and forth from there. And
That's
Kevin
weird.
Owens yeah, it was weird.
If you didn't watch any previous episode of Raw and you just watched the way these two were engaging, you would think that Kevin Owens was the good guy. Or
yes.
He seems like he's good intentioned, and you got Braun who's just being a butthole.
Yep.
The time, like Kevin Owens has extended his hand, he's saying blah blah blah. Let's work together. And Braun teams with him, beats another team, and then he
beats him.
Yep. So it's just weird. And the thing about the whole issue is they've wrestled before. I think they had a handicap match, him and Sami Zayn, and they lost. I want to say that was random.
Instead of Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, they're now doing Kevin Owens and Braun Strowman going back and forth on each other.
Yeah, Sami Zayn is hurt. He's out. He had like rotator cuffs.
Both of them.
Mm-hmm. It's just there's no juice to this because we've seen Kevin Owens lose, and even if he hadn't lost, we know that there's no way he can be.
Chance of him to win that.
Based on the way they portrayed him last couple of weeks. Is it funny? Yes. But in the grand scheme of things, I think it's not going to be healthy for either one of them.
It's really not healthy for Braun. He don't need that. Just like that's why it looks weird when he comes up with the Money in the Bank briefcase. It just don't look right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that they don't know what to do with him because he should be murdering everybody on the show. There's nobody who can hang with him.
Even personality-wise now. I mean, he's even gotten so big personality-wise. I think maybe they're trying to do these little gimmicky, stupid things to try to bring him back down to not overtake the show. Because that's really all anybody cares about is seeing now is Braun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. They're throwing a web blanket over that fire that Braun has going on. I think it's hurting him, but WWE crowds are usually flexible, and when they see somebody get their chance, they light back up, and they're still cheering them.
Yeah, they are.
But it's not like the insanity kind of cheers that we saw earlier on. So Nia Jax and Alexa in an Extreme Rules match. Considering how bad Nia Jax is, beg your pardon, baking powder.
I feel bad for Alexa just knowing that that's going to happen.
I know it's a terrible match.
To happen.
So this pay-per-view is quickly filling up with matches that people are going to care about. There's one that I care about at the top, but this one nobody wants to see this. There's nobody that's like, wow, I can't wait to see this match. Because like you said, Nia Jax is going to be a threat to hurt Alexa. Alexa is, I think, can be a good wrestler around somebody her size that can work around her lack of skill, but it is not Nia Jax. But I will say this about the pay-per-view Money in the Bank. Nia Jax, Ronda Rousey was a lot better than it had the right to be. And I want to say that had a lot more to do with Ronda Rousey than did Nia Jax.
She took one fall from Nia Jax where she came and she was supposed to do a Samoa drop, but kind of didn't have her right and kind of fell on her. So I was like, ooh. But Ronda sold it good or was able to, make up for it. But I'm thinking that Ronda actually comes in on this match and interrupts this match personally.
Yeah, she'll be there. Apparently, she's bought a ticket and she's gonna
bought a ticket. What does that mean, though? Well, where did that come from? We try to take a book out of John Cena. Yeah. It's like, what are we doing?
So she's banned from Raw, but she can be at pay-per-views. So, but why would she have to buy a ticket if she's okay to be at the pay-per-view?
She's Ronda Rousey. She just walk in there.
Yeah, I mean, she could be anybody's WWE superstar, and she gets in the back. So
Yeah.
Anywho,
She's
I
coming
think
out of the stands, and she's going to interrupt it.
definitely, but it's an Extreme Rules match. I don't really know what that means, other than the fact that they're going to be hitting each other
There'll
with.
be no DQ though, right?
Yep.
So she could end up coming in there and doing something and be no DQ.
Although I did hear something interesting in a pay-per-view. I mean, in a podcast this week. Extreme Rules really doesn't make any sense as a pay-per-view. It should be like no rules. Extreme rules mean there's like crazy rules or like a whole bunch of rules.
Yeah, I know one pay-per-view they did Extreme Rules was when Jericho and Ambrose fought, and then when Ambrose fought Brock Lesnar, that was where they had like this crazy gimmick stuff. That's Extreme Rules.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we're going to be in a shark-infested tank underneath the ring of paper.
If you fall out of the ring, you will get eaten by sharks.
Yeah, something like that. That's Extreme Rules, not just no
It's
rules.
like Celebrity Deathmatch.
VH1. The lumber shark match. The lumberjack match is where they have everybody on the outside and keeping them from getting out. A lumber shark match.
Lumber shark.
Okay, let's see what else I got here. Team Heck No is back together. It's Daniel Bryan. I'm saying heck because they say something on the different on the show, and this is a family-friendly podcast. Got Daniel Bryan, you got Kane reuniting in 2018, 5 years after they used to be a successful tag team. Is this a good use of Daniel Bryan?
I think so.
No.
Just because I don't like Daniel Bryan.
You son of a John. Chance, why is this a bad use of Daniel Bryan?
Kane needs to go with his brother.
Yep. Deuces.
He needs to get out of there. He's done.
He's trying to get out of there. He's having to come and resurrect Daniel Bryan's career because he can't do nothing else.
Oh, come on now. And you know it's just because SmackDown ain't got nobody worth the crap.
He's fighting Big Cass. He was fighting Big Cass.
Exactly. Who else? They ain't got nobody for him to fight.
Yeah, because he's garbage.
No, because all
nobody
the
wants to
talent
wrestle.
his size is on Raw.
He should go to 205 Live and let him dominate down there.
That's fine too.
He's got AJ Styles, Samoa Joe, Rusev Day, Shinsuke. There's plenty of people for him to wrestle, but they don't want him in the title scene right now. Could be a couple of reasons why. They want to test him out and see how the concussion situation is going to go.
Yep.
His contract's up in September. They may not want to push him and then him leave the company. I don't know, but I think this is a stupid idea. Him pairing up with the guys like 58 years old and should be getting ready to be mayor of Knox County or whatever it is. It's completely.
My next thing was, how did they beat? How do you really expect them to beat Bludgeon Brothers? Really, you build Bludgeon Brothers up to just dominate people, and then all of a sudden, this 60-year-old and a man with a broken back is beating you.
Bludgeon Brothers have taken a severe hit the last month or so.
It's just been like, wow.
You got way too many tag teams that are good on that show for it to be as bad as it is.
Now, I did love the Uso promo when they came out. That was awesome.
Woo. Man, just give them a mic. Just give them a mic, and they're gonna tear.
I've been actually missing the Usos, so I'm hoping they're back to stay for a little while. They took their vacation.
While we're talking about Usos, the last time Chance saw them, they were getting their heads bashed in by the Bludgeon Brothers. So they make their return after being off TV for a while, and guess who bashes their heads in?
Bludgeon Brothers.
No. A new team called Sanity. And they basically whooped them. Now
that's the guys that came up from NXT?
Uh-huh. One of them looks like you. And I'm just playing. He's just hairy. Anywho, so what we've seen is the Usos get dominated. They did get a victory over Insanity. I believe they were wrestling with Jeff Hardy. So they did get that victory over Sanity, but they haven't really been as dominant of a force. I think they need that. You just can't talk they're not the kind of team that can just talk. They got to put it on the line. So, long story short, we need them back. We need them doing what they do.
Yeah, I liked
Yep.
it a lot better when they were relevant and winning matches.
Bludgeon Brothers are going to look good in the Walmart toy section when you get the double pack, and
Yeah.
Braxton's going to love that. Braxton's going to be begging for that thing in the 3 different.
No, they only put those in the Bobo packs. They don't put those in the Elite packs.
Oh yeah, there you go. But
He
they're
only
gonna have
buys-
like 3 different colors. Yeah. So I like them, but they just don't fit into what's happening here and their style and their gimmick. Everybody else is like real, and then you got these weirdos that I just don't think connect. At least probably with the kids, but not with the adults.
Yeah, I'm fine with the Bludgeon Brothers gimmick, but I like when everybody's competitive. I hate when you have one person competitive one month and the next month they're nothing.
Well, I mean,
Repeatedly.
the wrestling's good. I like the match that they do. If they could take a little bit more of a beating and then win at the end, you know what I mean? That's usually how the bad guys, they take the beatings up front and then
Yeah,
they
but
win.
Bludgeon Brothers don't. They just
They
dominate.
don't. That's the only problem I have with it.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else from Raw or SmackDown that sticks out to you, Chase?
Something that's been going on that I can't get enough of. The only reason I watch Raw, and that is the B team mocking the Hardy and Bray Wyatt.
Mhm.
I love it. When you see Bo Dallas come around that corner with that beard on, acting like his brother, that's what's even more comical to me because I know it's his brother in real life.
Mhm.
It's like it's
It
spot on, man. Oh my gosh, I love it. You don't like
Didn't
it,
they win
John?
the Team Championship?
Who?
Didn't Bo Dallas win then whoever he's with? Didn't they win the
No.
Royal Rumble Championship or something?
They
won something.
a tag Royal
won
Rumble
thing.
thing. So they're the number 1 contenders, and they are wrestling at the pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Wow.
If Bray Wyatt can come back, he was
Against who? Bray and Hardy?
yeah.
They still have the tag team
Mhm.
belt?
But Bray got in that real bad car accident last
Oh, yeah.
Friday, and he doesn't remember anything from the accident. He's supposed to have some head trauma. I don't really know what that means.
He had that already.
But they're supposed to come back and be able to wrestle. We'll see. However, Chase, I think this is just the B team just sucks to me, and I can't enjoy as bad as they are. And I chuckled the first time I saw Bo Wyatt, but now I don't care about it because it was the same thing back to back, or maybe even 3 times in a row.
It's 3
We
times.
get it. We get
I
it.
love it. I'd much rather watch them than who's the guys that came out and fought Roman Reigns and Bobby Lashley.
The Revival.
Exactly. They suck. Get off the TV. I don't need my dad and his brother coming out there wrestling. Get them out of there. Who else would I'd rather watch the B team over well, no, I can't say that. I like Breezango. I like them.
The Good Brothers. The Good Brothers.
Is that what they're called?
No, I'm saying
Breezango?
it. No,
Is
the
Drew
Good Brothers.
McIntyre still hitching his wagon to what's his name?
That was actually my fight of the week. That Drew McIntyre and Dolph and
Mhm.
Roman Reigns match. I thought that was a good match.
Yeah, I'm liking Roman Reigns versus Drew McIntyre. There's a real good vibe there. It's going to come out of that.
That's a good chemistry they got. It was you can
I
really
would
see
like
it in the tag team.
Didn't know that Roman Reigns was going to win already.
Well, they didn't. He lost.
Did he?
Yeah.
With the help of Dolph.
Well, it was the tag team.
It was
So for him
1v2.
to beat,
Yeah.
for him to it was Dolph and McIntyre against Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns.
Revival interfered in that match.
Revival interfered with it. Yeah. Again,
Reigns-
Revival. It's like, get out of here with your saggy white bottoms on. Get the freak out of here. Nobody likes them. Please tell me if you took a poll, who likes them? Who?
They don't fit in. They don't fit in with the big boys being
There,
there.
dude.
And I mean, I don't need everybody to look like Bobby Lashley, but you're on the road wrestling like 4 or 5 times a week, and you can't get rid of a belly. Not that that would help because of how boring they look as individuals.
Yes. Yes, they do.
But getting back to your dad probably would have been a really good wrestler in like the 70s and 80s.
Yeah.
Oh man, he would have been. Him and
the pit bull.
He got the mentality for it too.
The Bushwhackers took his glory. He was a Bushwhacker brother that just wasn't ever born.
Well, he was born,
but not in the wrestling world.
Yeah.
Another thing I hated was the whole Bobby Lashley thing. I hate that going on Raw. It's terrible. He's
reading lines.
Oh, he's so awful. You can see it. You can see it.
Lines? Shut up, Roman.
It's like Bobby Lashley says to Roman, "Oh, I'm not supposed to say that." It's like,
shut up, Roman. You have some brass ones to come out here. And say that.
He does. He talks so like robotic like that.
He was just like that, Chance. If you could have seen it, if you go back and watch it, John just did a spot on impersonation of it. And you don't look at the camera or Roman.
Yeah.
He's just staring off.
I'm going to need you to check your ego at the door, Roman.
It's awesome. That is dead on, man. Dead on. All right. What else? All right. My next thing is, so Bayley snaps on Sasha Banks, and she has to go to therapy.
Anger management.
But anger management. But Ronda Rousey comes out there and does what she does to Alexa Bliss, and it's or Braun Strowman almost murders Kevin Owens.
Yeah, the whole.
It's because they're supposed to be friends.
It's so gay.
And the idea that they have to be on the same team and they have to work together when nobody else on the whole show has to do this. It's like I thought you cared about the women's revolution, Bayley. Yeah, I do. Well, then you got to be best friends with Sasha Banks. Why?
Why? Where's this? Why does this happen to me?
Yeah. This show sometimes.
Telling you, man. And then, what's his name? The guy was for WrestleMania. That's how irrelevant he's become with a guitar.
Oh,
Elias.
Yep.
Falling off the earth.
Good.
Falling off the earth.
Get out of here.
And I do like what Baron Corbin's doing. I like what he's doing. Way better than where he was before this.
Oh, yeah. Way, way better.
It's like a 180.
The thing I don't understand with Elias is he was going pretty good there for a while.
Yeah.
Like, we were all liking him.
Just beat the dead horse to death.
Yeah. They went to where he wasn't doing anything but singing in the middle of the ring.
Yeah.
And wasn't wrestling at all.
Jumped the shark on him.
Well, I think they have the ability to go so far out, and then they get to that point to where, like, we don't know what else to do.
Yeah.
So they take you off TV. Let's just put him to the side. We'll have him on here for 30 seconds as opposed to having him on here for a long time. Remember, he was wrestling Seth Rollins for the Intercontinental Channel, championship and having okay matches.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean.
And then just nothing.
And then he just started playing his guitar in the middle of the ring and exiting.
Yep.
SmackDown.
Well, that was the Team Heck No that I was talking about earlier. Chad, who's not on here tonight, was talking about how he started watching and turned it off after Miz and Jeff Hardy wrestled for 30 minutes. I called that, and it was a snoozer of a match. I mean, that match went on way too long.
It went on too long.
And we already saw this about a month ago, and they did the kind of the same style match where it went on and on and on. It was pretty good then, but when you see a rerun, it's
Yeah.
a turn
It's
off.
kind of played out the same way too.
Yep, for sure.
Now, the SmackDown, I didn't get to see the match of the Usos and Team Heck No. Who won that match? Do you know?
Let me verify. That was going on the DVR right before we got on the show.
If you can find that out for me, John.
Are
But
we
I
gonna
really wanted to see that because if the Usos won, it was going to be a triple threat match, tag team, or I don't know how they say that, at Extreme Rules for the tag team belts with the Bludgeon Brothers. So I need to know who won that. I stopped watching it to come in here, but
Team Hecto defeats the Usos.
oh man, I was really hoping that the Usos would
So what
win
does
that.
that mean? It'll just be a tag match.
Yep, and they'll win.
Bludgeon versus Hickman.
I'm taking Heck No over Bludgeon.
I think it's going to be Bludgeon Brothers.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
I'll let you know next week what mine thinks.
Nice.
Maybe after I watch an episode.
Anything else happened good on SmackDown? I don't think anything else really happened on SmackDown.
Yeah, AJ Styles wrestle Aiden English, and Rusev is officially a bad guy.
Really?
What?
Explain it to me.
They're trying to.
AJ Styles is doing his promo before the match, and they're going AJ Styles Rusev Day, AJ Styles Rusev Day. If that doesn't tell you that this guy is all the way over when he gets a chant along with AJ Styles,
Yeah.
there's hardly anybody in the company, maybe Seth Rollins, that is universally supported as AJ Styles is. And for him to get some chance with that guy in it, I don't understand what they're doing.
He must. I think. All right. This is my thing on Rusev. I think he said, "Hey, I'll take whatever you give me, as long as Lana can be in the WWE with me." That's the only thing I can think of why they keep burning him and putting him out is because of Lana. What do you
I
think?
don't get why the WWE wouldn't want to push him though, if the fans are wanting him.
Because they can. They don't need it.
Why make your job more difficult? You know what I'm saying? You watch and who do the people support? You don't have to do everybody that they support because you want to have some tension. You want people to come back the next week and but
To see what they do, yeah.
If a guy's over, your job is easier. Now I'm going to write for this guy to succeed and this guy to have challenges. It's just stupid. I don't understand. But
that's my only thing that I can think of.
Or he stays in trouble. That's the other thing to think of. Like
you would hear about it.
Yeah.
I mean, everything I see of him, he's a good dude.
Yep. He's like a 5-tool guy. I would say he's probably not the best in the ring, but he's good enough. He has personality. And his body language is strong in the ring. He's a very good promo.
He's got good charisma.
Yep. He's that weird kind of guy that can be super serious, but also be funny, and you don't lose anything there to where you don't value him as a wrestler. He's not a joke. In other words.
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, you remember my text messages. Those who aren't on our text message don't know about it, but you can sit there and go through almost every single wrestler and see how the WWE has booked them wrong to the point to where it's damaged them as a character. And there's very few that they've gotten right. Braun, I feel like they've gotten right more than wrong. But there's very few other wrestlers I feel that way. Seth Rollins
was on a good track there until he got hurt.
And now they're buddying him up with Roman Reigns, which I don't think is going to be good long term because he's becoming a sidekick.
Well, I think he can get over it. if it doesn't work, it's not going to destroy Seth Rollins. He's so hot, it's not going to destroy him.
I hope so.
He's such a good wrestler. Nothing they can do to him is gonna kill him.
I really wish he wouldn't have got hurt to see where they really were going to go with that storyline.
Mm-hmm.
Because at that point, I hated him so much that they were doing so good with what they were doing. I hate it for him.
But I think he's in a really good place right now. I think, like what Chance just said, he's one of those wrestlers that doesn't matter what they get him to do, he's still going to overcome whatever obstacles they put before him in the writing part of it. And most wrestlers can't do that. I mean, go down the line. Yeah, Bailey is booked poorly. Asuka's booked poorly. Roman Reigns booked poorly. AJ Styles is like the weakest WWE champion of all time. He's just a guy walking around with a belt. Oh yeah, he's got the belt. Although there's nothing.
Well, you got to think though, who is there really for him to fight though?
Samoa.
We say this every week, but where is he at?
Bryan.
Where's Samoa Joe at?
I think he got injured.
Exactly. It's twice he's been injured.
Jeff Hardy, he could wrestle him. There's plenty of people from wrestle.
That was a good match. Didn't him and Jeff Hardy fight a couple of weeks ago?
Yeah. But it didn't mean
that was actually a good match.
There's just people. Heck, just throw somebody out there that's not one of the high guys and just let them have a wrestling match instead of what they've done. I mean, he's wrestled the same guy for a month and a half.
Are they wrestling again in Extreme Rules?
Shinsuke's done everything he can possibly do, and they keep beating him. I mean, don't make any sense.
Are they having another match in Extreme Rules?
No.
Oh, that Brent reminds me. I don't think you knew about this, Chance, since you've been a ghost. But Shinsuke Nakamura was bitten by a police dog a couple of weeks ago. And
he was bit by a dog?
Police dog. They were doing a bomb sniff throughout the building, like a standard thing. And he happened to be in a room working out, and the dog went over there and bit him. And so they're hoping he'll be back by the pay-per-view, but he's been on crutches.
Where at? In the leg?
Yep.
Yeah.
In his knee?
He's fighting Rusev, isn't he? Isn't AJ fighting Rusev at Extreme Rules?
Rusev and Shinsuke's wrestling.
So he took a tooth to the face.
To the knee.
To the knee.
Well, you know what he did? He went up behind that dog and punched him in the balls.
He gave him a low blow.
Yep. What do you think's going to happen?
Right in the lipstick.
Yeah, that's what really happened. They're just putting on this other news story that it was a bomb sniffer.
It's a ball sniffer.
Beg your pardon? Or like AJ's dog. All right, let's move on. You want to talk a little bit about that match of the week a little bit more, Chase? You said that was your match of the week. I'm not sure we talked about like it fully.
Yeah, my match of the week was the Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, and the Drew McIntyre and Dolph Ziggler match. I thought it was really, really good storytelling, them going back and forth, and Seth Rollins being in the ring for so long, trying to get over there. McIntyre's thrown out of the ring, but then he throws Roman out so he can't tag. It was really laid out well. I really hate that whatever it is came out there to interrupt it because it was a really good match. I wanted to see how it ended, but that was the ending, I guess.
Well, it's a tease. Now we're going to look forward to Roman Reigns and Drew McIntyre. We're not at the point where we can have that yet, but at least we have that to look forward to. And they're going to have a 30-minute Iron Man match, Seth Rollins and Dolph Ziggler at the pay-per-view. So,
and I actually think that's going to be a good match.
Yeah, I think that will be good.
I'm hoping that there's no pinfalls for
as much
30
as I don't
minutes.
Care about Dolph, he does go after it pretty hard.
It's just his look, man. It's his look. It's like
it's a stick.
He's a Dollar General version of Shawn Michaels. Like when you go in there and you see off-brand toys, that's Dolph Ziggler, and he's better than that. He needs to come up with his own style.
But I'm hoping it's a long match and there's no pinfalls except for right there at the end where they're both just dead tired.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to see 4
Be a
pins
double
in a
pin.
match. That's not. It don't ever hardly happen. And so now it's going to happen.
Yeah,
Gonna be a double pin.
I want Drew and Roman not out there too. You know,
Yep.
like referee
Yeah.
before it even
Oh, they
starts.
kick him out.
Yep. Yep. That's probably what needs to happen. I
They
agree
can be
with
out
you.
there, but they just hit on each other.
No.
No, I
Is
want
there-
that.
Yeah, it don't work that way. There's going to be some type of interference if they're out there.
Yep.
Okay. The Brock storyline. Chance, let me give you a rundown of what's happened. He's not on the show, obviously, and he's not going to be at SummerSlam because, and also he vetoed a 5 or 6 man match to determine the number 1 contender, which is stupid to begin with anyway. We have a Royal Rumble to determine a number 1 contender. We have a Money in the Bank ladder match to determine somebody that can have a
Be
match.
another one contender.
Like
Yep.
every week we have every pay-per-view there's something to do with the number 1 contender in some form or fashion. But be that as it may, they were supposed to have a match and Brock vetoed it for some stupid reason. I don't know why he has the power to not only decide when he's going to wrestle, but also to veto other matches. Yeah, it's like
See who we can match.
that's a contract right there, man. That is a contract.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Paul Heyman, no wonder Paul Heyman's still in business.
yep. So, do you think this is good or bad for the business that we have somebody holding the title hostage? And
Stupid.
yeah,
I think it's good and bad. I wish I would see him more there walking around with it
mm-hmm.
and just taunting it. That would be a little bit more cooler than him just doing what he's doing right now. But I don't mind him holding it hostage because that just shows how much that gives you more hate towards him.
Mm-hmm.
But I wish he was
Yeah,
like rubbing it
give
in
you
people's
more hate.
noses.
Yeah, that's a good point. It's kind of like the Golden State Warriors with basketball. You hate seeing them continue to be dominant and to continue to just toy
Do it.
around with everybody else in the NBA, basically. Just 'cause
But they're
it's-
showing up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
At least
they're
they-
actually playing. They're actually playing basketball games. So it's a little different, but the same concept of the same person, kind of almost unfairly having that title.
Yeah, I think Brock is like a name that you would like to have on your roster, and you want to attach some of that to it because if somebody looks in on your program and you got Brock, it seems to kind of elevate the program.
Right.
And there's nobody like Brock besides Ronda Rousey on the roster, so there's no men. I mean, there's no men that cross over to other areas,
Right.
which is a problem. As a wrestling fan, I'd like for it to be on somebody else. So I'd have some really good TV to watch. But
Yeah.
from WWE perspective, there's no reason to take it off of him, even if he doesn't want to wrestle. Like, I agree with you. I think Brock wouldn't do anything they want him to do. They just pay him. So he needs to be on the show. He needs to be wrestling. But
I mean, it ain't like they don't have enough money.
yep, yeah, and they could flush money down the toilet. That's how much they got. Okay, guys, last segment of the night. We have winners and losers for this week, and you'll probably count next week. Chase, why don't you go first, and then we'll let Chance go. He can go last if
My
he wants.
loser. Sorry, my loser is I don't know if it's Bailey or Sasha Banks. I think Sasha Banks. That she is now diminished to what she's doing right now. I don't know if she's injured and they're just trying to do something with her, but it's terrible. My winner, I guess, would be I'd have to say Dolph Ziggler because I was hating on him for a long time, and now I kind of see where they were going with it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my winners and losers.
That's two good answers, and I think just imagine how Sasha Banks feels right now when she's one of the best wrestlers that they have on the show, and she's doing this bull crap every week.
I can't.
And she's a competitor, and so it's not like one of us that'd be like, "Oh, you want to pay me $3 million to have a middle school fight with? I'll do whatever you want me to do." But she's not like that. She's a competitor, and she wants to do the best.
She wants to be the best, and she wants to have the title.
Mm-hmm.
Unless she really don't, and we just think that.
But thinks she wants to be the top woman, and I hope so. At least that's what she gives me the impression of. And
Yep.
having to do this junk, it's just sad. Chance, do you have a winner and loser for this week?
Yeah, I got you one. Got two losers. First loser is Bobby Lashley for the things that y'all noted earlier. He's just so
Scripted,
blah
man.
on the mic.
It's too
Terrible.
scripted.
Terrible on the mic. They're giving him more and more mic time, so he's losing every time he touches that mic. Although I do like the hat. Makes his head not seem quite as abnormally shapen or large or whatever. It looks much better in that hat that he has in his new outfit. Another loser is Kevin Owens, just simply being in the porta potty, getting that chemical dumped on you. Man, that's gotta suck. I don't care what it was that got dumped on him. It couldn't have been pleasant. My winner for the week is, I guess, Kane. Just because he's getting his job back, he's maybe making him some money. So.
Oh, he's making money.
You just robbed me in broad daylight with those two choices.
Sorry.
My loser of the week, I'm going to go with Andrade Cien Almas. This guy looked like he was red hot coming out the door. And I don't think he's been on either of the last two shows after they promised a match with him and Sin Cara.
Yep.
That's the one thing that I can't stand is when you start something and then you take somebody off.
Yeah, I meant to ask you what they were doing with him earlier.
Hadn't seen him.
Yeah, he's been gone.
I think they took my note from our show because I know they've been watching our show, and I said that he was garbage, and so now he's gone. So you're welcome.
You jerk. Ruined somebody's career.
My winner of the week is Brock Lesnar. He doesn't have to show up for work. He doesn't have to say one freaking word. He's on his ranch in North Dakota or Canada, wherever the heck he lives. He doesn't have to do anything. All he had to do was sign a contract. They sent him the contract, and that was it. And he's making $12 million at least a year.
Yep.
For nothing.
Hey, man, when you're the best athlete, MMA or fighting or whatever, the biggest besides Conor McGregor, who else fighting wise is bigger than Brock Lesnar?
And Mayweather, obviously.
Ronda Rousey?
Maybe.
She's lost a little bit of luster, but she's still fire.
What I'm saying is, if MMA said Brock Lesnar's fighting John Jones next UFC fight, how much more do they spike selling?
Good point.
Ronda Rousey don't sell no more. Even though Brock got beat, he's still selling. She ain't selling no more. Only the person is Conor McGregor that sells like he does. That's why he makes $12 million a year to do nothing.
Well, he ain't doing anything anymore after what he did to that bus and the people inside of it.
Yeah.
Done.
What happened?
Connor. He's talking about Connor.
For some reason, Connor attacked a bus. He attacked the bus, wound up getting arrested.
Yeah, he was mad at somebody that was a teammate of somebody in the bus and yada yada. But they think he might come back on the next one.
He was throwing like these huge things into the bus or into the glass, and it shattered.
Like barricades and chairs and stuff like that.
People got hurt.
Yeah.
Villains got hurt too. All right. Well, I would disagree with you on the thing. Ronda Rousey was a pretty big draw, but
I'm talking about like this weekend. If they were to throw a matchup, who would you rather watch? That's what I mean.
Brock. Chance, let's ask you that question. That's a really good question. Okay.
Right.
Ronda Rousey, Conor McGregor, or Brock Lesnar? Which match?
I'm going to watch Brock for sure.
Probably still Brock. I mean, I like watching Conor.
It's not even close.
Still Brock.
And I guess that goes to your point, why he can do what he does.
Well, on that note, we're going to wrap this podcast up. Glad to be back and talking about wrestling and a few other things this week. Next week, we'll have our Extreme Rules picks because I believe that'll be the last time that we have a time to talk before the pay-per-view. We thank you so much for listening to our watching our podcast. Chase, any last words before we hang this sucker up?
No. Just have a good weekend. Be careful out there, everybody.
Chance.
Peace out.
All right, with that note, we will see you again next week.
Go Lakers.
LeBron sucks.